Rain shower, low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with mostly cloudy conditions later in the day. High 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, partly cloudy skies in the evening, then becoming cloudy overnight. Low 72. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The images and video coming out of upstate New York right now are stunning. Entire neighborhoods are essentially sealed off, buried up to 5 feet of snow. As the snow piles up, though, so does the death toll. 10 people now confirmed as victims of this storm. From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you're watching a special report, America's Deep Freeze. And thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Nick Walker. Impressive doesn't really begin to capture the amount of snow we've seen. These numbers are epic. Take a look at some of these numbers. This is amazing. 59 inches there at Orchard Park. But look at Hamburg, 79.5 inches. That's as tall as somebody who's 6'3". Yeah.
Way over my head.
Yeah, it's a little over mine too, yeah, I have to admit. Buffalo, you are fairly impressive, but, you know, not comparatively so. 18.8 inches, that would be a big snowstorm any other time.
And the snow continues in many of these areas. And earlier today on AMHQ, we spoke to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo about this extreme snow event.
There's not a lot that you can prevent in these situations, but we have the utility companies are here, the special rescue teams are here, and we're doing everything we can. So far, we've been relatively lucky on the loss of life. We've had 8 deaths, mostly cardiac arrest, shoveling snow, snow blowing. So we've been relatively fortunate, even though we've had 8 deaths. It could have been a lot worse here.
And unfortunately, as we mentioned, that death toll did rise to 10 not too long ago. Well, an additional 2 to 3 feet of snow is not what Buffalo needs, but that's what round 2 is bringing tonight. We've also seen reports of the elusive thunder snow. Residents are snowed in their homes in some neighborhoods with snow drifts higher than the doors. Let's head out to the lab now for expert analysis with our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel. Hey, Greg.
Gosh, among all those other things you have to deal with, I mean, I can just imagine feeling claustrophobic in my house, looking out the door, opening it up and seeing nowhere to go, or the garage or whatever. It's just unbelievable. Let me show you a picture that Mike Bettis just tweeted out. This is, he said, my work is done here, and he'd been shoveling like crazy, but you know, I'm looking at that picture and he's in Hamburg and I'm seeing it's still snowing. So hopefully not a whole lot more to go in Hamburg. I don't think it will snow a whole lot more there, but let me put together the pieces here to show you that the perfect storm really came together for this epic, as Nick said, lake effect event. I mean, we have extremely cold air for this time of year, almost unprecedented, moving over extremely warm water of the lake. So you had that contrast of cold air aloft and warm water, and led to some unbelievable lake effect bands that just did not move. There's some smaller ones here in Lake Michigan, but obviously the primary ones, these lake parallel bands right there across Erie and Ontario. Here's the latest radar, and you can kind of see this band is trying to slide south, but gosh, it's taking its sweet time. And you know, Hamburg is right about there, and I think they're just about done, but just a few miles to the south, it's coming down at probably 3 inches an hour. What's kept this thing together so effectively is air streams coming together near the surface that are basically perfectly aligned to allow convergence to happen right there. And when air comes together like that, it goes up and creates these incredible numbers. 70 plus, I'm telling you, there's 85 inches already at New Wales. 85 inches. Can you believe that? And the snow band is still hammering those places that have over 70. So let's time it out now for everybody, showing you that we think, the model insists that these bands are going to be moving southward as a prevailing northwest wind kicks in over the next several hours. And tomorrow morning, I think we'll be dealing with a little bit of lake effect snow here, but nothing like we've seen. And if you want to look at the total numbers between now and when it's all over tomorrow afternoon, still in some places 12 to 18. Nick, back to you.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Dr. Postel. And aside from having to shovel out their homes just to get out the front door, people are having to dig out their cars, which have been plowed in along the sides of neighborhood roads. Reagan Medji drove around the Buffalo suburbs to get an update on the road conditions.
It's something most all of us dread, driving on snow-covered roads. But with this storm, it wasn't just the roads covered in white, but it was also neighborhoods, like this one in the town of Lancaster, buried feet below.
Probably about 14, 15 hours of shoveling.
As for drivers, they too were going up against mountains of snow. So much it forced the closure of more than 100 miles of Interstate 90, a main highway to Buffalo.
I wanted to get as close as I could to the border. The small town back there, things were not looking good, starting to slide a little bit, so I needed to get to a safe place, and that's it.
Hundreds of drivers on I-90 got stuck and had to leave their vehicles behind. Some tried their very best to get out, while others had to be rescued. When the storm took a pause, it was time to dig out for the Buffalo suburbs, like here in Elma.
Now that the snow has stopped and the plows are in action, here's a look at the roads in Lancaster, where more than 5 feet of snow fell. As you can see, the 5 feet or more of snow is bordering the street. And not only that, sometimes it's difficult to figure out if those piles of snow are snow or vehicles underneath.
Farther south to East Aurora, this area is expected to be hit with yet another band of snow. More than a foot could fall during round 2.
Everybody's prepared to dig out.
All right, well, we got to dig out, we got to warm up and melt some of this, and we are going to see some temperatures springing back. You know, you hit 40 yesterday in D.C., you were up in the 50s today. You're back down to 49 degrees right now. And Philadelphia, 36 degrees was the high yesterday. New York City hit 36, Boston hit 37. Well, you rebounded just a little bit. However, we're going to cool down initially and then warm back up, way up. So watch what happens as we head through the weekend. As this jet stream lifts northward, we're going to see this warmer air surging northward here through the mid-Atlantic, through the Northeast. A lot of us are going to see temperatures eventually that will be above average. We're talking about Pittsburgh, D.C., New York, Boston, down toward Roanoke, Virginia as well. Here's what we're looking at tomorrow. Back down below average, 36 at New York, 34 in Boston, then back up closer to average by Saturday. Sunday will be right about what we would consider average for this time of the year. But by Monday, look at the temperatures soar. 14, 15 degrees above average here from the Northeast to the Mid-Atlantic, Kelly.
Well, Nick, of course, we're tracking the lake effect snow as well as the frigid temperatures, but we also have severe weather to talk about. Storms firing up this weekend, especially along the Gulf Coast. Our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, will time it out for you.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
This holiday season, remember to give back to your companions. Petco has thousands of gifts on sale, like free holiday spa upgrades when you buy a full-service bath or groom. Plus, earn 5% back with Pals Rewards. Joy, love, pets. Petco.
Black Friday deals are here early, which means it's time to start saving on appliances at Lowe's. Hurry in now for up to 40% off select major appliances, plus 5% off with your Lowe's card. Don't miss out on the year's best deals at Lowe's.
This week on the Weather Channel Mornings, with winter weather in full effect, relentless cold has settled in across most of the nation. When will it let up, and how will it affect your travel? And we reveal the top 5 airports with the most weather delays. Is yours on the list? Find out. Wake Up with Al and AMHQ this week on the Weather Channel Mornings.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with mostly cloudy conditions later in the day. High 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, partly cloudy skies in the evening, then becoming cloudy overnight. Low 72. Here's our 7-day outlook.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this! Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Each year, 17 billion toilet paper tubes are thrown away. Enough to fill the Empire State Building. Twice. Toss the tube for good with Scott Naturals Tube Free.
It's just not the holidays until the lights come on. So stop by your neighborhood Ace for select lights on sale for $5.99 and $17.99. Make Ace your holiday connection.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One. Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Well, there might not be snow in the forecast for the south, but we do have severe weather to talk about, especially as you make those weekend plans. And we always go to the man with the plan when we talk severe weather. Our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, is in the lab to talk more about what's coming our way. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, quite a difference between multiple feet of snow there in the Buffalo, New York area and temperatures in the 70s in Texas. That's what the proximity to that warm Gulf of Mexico will do for you as the wind has turned from the southeast, setting the stage for some severe weather that might occur in Texas even tomorrow night. I'm thinking it might be overnight before it gets going in the western half of Texas. There's a slight chance during the late afternoon or evening of something getting going in central parts of Texas, but I've given overnight a Torcon of about a 3 there on a 10-point scale in that San Angelo area down to the west of the San Antonio area. Why would it wait till overnight? Well, because the upper air cold pocket aloft still is pretty far to the west. This is 11 p.m. Friday night, so it's still over Arizona, parts of Mexico. But and that usually is the trigger then for the severe weather, and it adds to the instability. You can see, though, that by 5 p.m. Saturday afternoon, the leading edge of that begins to get into central Texas. So western Texas will get it first and then work its way east. Watch how fast this dip in the jet stream winds follow along these white lines. Watch how fast that moves then from Friday afternoon through Saturday and into early Sunday afternoon, begins to race up into the Tennessee and western Ohio valleys. So in between, we'll have what we often call that overlap of ingredients that are favorable for severe weather. The warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico coming in, while aloft we'll have that jet stream winds from the south and west. So there'll be some supercell thunderstorms there, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and maybe some strong tornadoes as well. By the time we get into Sunday night, that disturbance will be up into the Buffalo area. It might bring some rain and snow melt, warm temperatures that could be aggravating the problems with all that snow laying around there. Saturday, severe thunderstorms maybe in the morning in the western part of this area, San Angelo over to the west of San Antonio, and then spreading east as the afternoon or evening progress, perhaps getting all the way over into southern parts of Louisiana. I've given a Torcon of 4 in the 10-point scale there. Southeast Texas, southwest parts of Louisiana, and 3 up near the Dallas area where it's not quite as unstable, but there will be a surface low rolling across that area. There is that surface low Saturday 5 p.m. Look at all the southeast winds here coming in, adding to that moisture, and that's beginning to show its way all the way across the Gulf Coast. That surface low runs off to the northeast, tries to run away from the instability, does pull on Sunday afternoon and during the day, Saturday and Sunday, up moisture into the Gulf Coast states, and then that cold front and the surface low run way up. Look how before the cold front goes through, it warms up in the Buffalo area. We'll have snow melt. Here's Saturday night. Severe thunderstorms rolling from East Texas across maybe as far east as the western Florida panhandle area. And I've given Torcons of 4 there along the Gulf Coast states. And then on Sunday in the morning, the western parts here, Mississippi westbound, but then Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North, and maybe eastern Carolinas will have afternoon and evening severe thunderstorms. Again, I've given a Torcon of 4 on the 10-point scale there. Southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, Florida panhandle, and southern parts of Georgia. So there could be some pretty strong tornadoes included in some of this. It's a weekend where you need to pay attention to the weather. Now, Nick's going to tell us a little bit about whether they can play football in Buffalo. Nick?
Well, they're still trying to decide, Dr. Forbes. This Sunday's NFL game between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills will not be played in Buffalo, however. An NFL spokesperson made the announcement late this afternoon, saying public safety resources that would normally be used for the game must be available for the community instead. He says the game will be played somewhere at some time this weekend, but the league and the teams are still trying to figure out the details. NBC Sports is reporting that Detroit and the Jets' home in New Jersey are being considered as alternate locations. By the way, the National Hockey League has canceled tomorrow night's game between the Rangers and the Sabres that was supposed to take place in Buffalo. Kelly?
All right, Nick, thanks so much. Well, you know, over the next week, you might be headed to the airport at some point where they're traveling, maybe a pickup or a drop-off, but wintry weather can put a damper on your plans, especially when there's ice involved. We're going to take you behind the scenes to see how the airports take care of that.
Black Friday deals are here early, which means it's time to start saving on Christmas decorations at Lowe's. Hurry in now for 15% off all Christmas inflatables and $1.99 100-count holiday living lights. Don't miss out on the year's best deals at Lowe's.
Now? This year, Walmart's Black Friday is 10 days of savings.
Now?
Oh, hold on. The savings will be bigger and better than ever before. Okay, go ahead.
Black Friday is back, and it's going to be huge. Get ready to win it at Walmart.com.
Oh, no.
Who are you?
Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
I got everything I wanted. I always do.
You seem nice.
Seatbelts, headrests, and airbags help you survive a crash. But if you upgrade your headlights, you may even avoid one. See farther, wider, better. Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
Hershey's Miniatures. Choosing is half the fun. Because there's a little something delicious for everyone. Hershey's Miniatures. Choose your own delicious.
Ring, ring.
Progresso.
It's okay that your soup tastes like my homemade.
It's our slow-simmered vegetables and tender white meat chicken.
Apology accepted. I'm watching you, soup people.
Make it Progresso or make it yourself.
So we've had a Tempur-Pedic for a while, but now that we have the adjustable base, it's even better.
I'm go up.
Discover how Tempur-Pedic can move you. And now through December 1st, save up to $500 on a Tempur-Pedic mattress and adjustable base.
At the end of the day, my hands are beat up.
Especially during the winter times, hands are splitting, cracking, making it very difficult to do my job.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
Best stuff we've ever used.
It just works.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
This week on the Weather Channel mornings, with winter weather in full effect, relentless cold has settled in across most of the nation. When will it let up, and how will it affect your travel? And we reveal that.
Did you know 7 of the 10 costliest hurricanes to make landfall in U.S. history caused insured losses in Florida? Hurricane force winds can exert more than 1 ton of pressure on an exterior door or window. Property losses from a storm can have a catastrophic impact on your finances or those of your business. Weston Insurance Company offers windstorm insurance and may be the most affordable option for your home or business. Weston, for when the wind blows.
Ah, got it. These Wi-Fi hotspots we get with our Xfinity internet service are all over the place. Hey, you can stop looking. I found one. See? What do you think a Wi-Fi hotspot smells like? I'm thinking roast beef. You want to get lunch?
Get the fastest Wi-Fi hotspots and more coverage on the go than any other provider. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
1000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this.
Listen to that. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with mostly cloudy conditions later in the day. High 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, partly cloudy skies in the evening, then becoming cloudy overnight. Low 72. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We've been out shoveling out people's furnace vents and all that sort of stuff for them, getting people out of their houses who are trapped.
Yeah, helping those who can't help themselves. That's really what this has been about this week in Western New York. Feet of snow trapping people inside their homes, and it's wonderful to see folks helping others dig out, and especially those who have been really snowed in. And this is the kind of snowfall we're talking about that snowed so many people in. Over 6 feet in many cases. Now, Kelly, Alan Rios, our weather producer, he's 6'3". I look up to him, okay? But this is the kind of snowfall totals that he would look up to.
Right.
70 inches plus there around the Hamburg area, 50 to 70 inches off toward the east, and there's where the snow is continuing to fall right now over the same areas.
Oh, it's like deja vu all over again, right? Look at that band. Very heavy snow in the Hamburg area. We've had whiteout conditions, as our own Mike Bettis can attest to. He's been there all day long. Well, if you've ever spent time at the airport during the winter months, you probably noticed ground crews working to de-ice those airplanes.
And in today's Brainstorm, we explore the science behind ice and airplanes.
When ice forms on the body of an airplane, it can be trouble. Even a layer as thin as a grain of salt can affect a plane's aerodynamics. The upward force that maintains altitude, called lift, can be reduced by 30%. That effectively has the same impact as adding the weight of 2 school buses. To counter this, airlines de-ice their planes with a glycol solution that has a freezing point more than 80 degrees lower than water. And it's not just in the air. If there's ice on the ground during landing, the coefficient of friction, or stickiness, between the landing gear and the runway can drop by 60%, requiring more distance to land. Even just a half an inch of slush can increase the landing distance by a length equivalent to about 7 city blocks. For a major airport like O'Hare or JFK to get back up to normal operating speed, as many as 8 runways and 25 plus miles of taxiways must be cleared. For just a foot of snowfall, that can add up to 30 million cubic feet of snow, or about the weight of an average-sized cruise ship. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
All right, de-icing going on right now, as you would imagine, Buffalo, Detroit, Cleveland. We've had de-icing going on there as well, and sometimes it can cause some delays, but it's worth it, right? Let's get there safe. Let's get you safely to your destination as well as we check on your Thanksgiving travel. A lot of you may be taking off a little extra early to maybe hit the highways and head out to the airports. And here's a look at what we're expecting on Saturday. We've got a system moving into the middle of the country, and that means rain for Chicago, O'Hare, second busiest airport, of course, and 64 degrees in Dallas. Yeah, it's going to be warm, but we've got the thunderstorms thunderstorms. In fact, some of those storms could be severe. Otherwise, we're good for the New York Cubs. We're talking 39 degrees in New York City, 54 in Charlotte. Atlanta, the busiest airport in the world right now, looks pretty good weather-wise on Saturday. And here's a look at where we could see some delays on Saturday. Major delays, in fact, for Dallas with those storms around. Icy problems in Detroit. Chicago, moderate delays with that chance of some wet weather. And San Francisco, some delays are possible. In fact, San Francisco experiencing a delay right now because of low ceilings and rain. Here comes Sunday. We've got wind and 43 in Denver. Also very windy in the northern plains, but looking messy, unfortunately, from the Great Lakes to the northeast. And the rain also moving into that busy hub right here in Atlanta, Georgia. So watch out for some delays. We got major delays in Chicago as well as Atlanta. Check ahead if you're traveling through Hartsfield, Jackson, Washington, D.C. Some delays are possible for you. And even Denver, it's going to be a windy one, so take the Dramamine if you're not too good with the turbulence out there. And then here's an early look at your Turkey Day on Thursday. And that stripe of blue on the map, that is where we're expecting some snow. Colder temperatures coming in behind this as well. And don't forget, if you have travel plans coming up, you can always get the latest on airport delays and cancellations on weather.com/delayed airports. Nick?
Well, there's no rest for the weary, is there? We're talking about making a bad situation worse. What could be another round of crippling lake effect snow. Our special coverage continues next as we head back to the lab for expert analysis on America's deep freeze from Dr. Greg Postel. Stay with us.
This program brought to you by Farmers. Get smarter at farmers.com.
The more you learn about your insurance, the more gaps you may find. Like how you thought you were covered for this, when you're really only covered for this. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Or that experts say anyone who lives or works with infants should be vaccinated. Maybe you didn't know all the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knew the whole time. But maybe, since you already went and got your flu shot at Rite Aid without hassle or appointment, maybe you didn't need to know any of that. Rite Aid. With us, it's personal.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Average women's tees versus a gawking gopher. Duluth Trading Longtail Tees versus a gawking gopher. The Duluth Longtail Tee. 2 extra inches to defend your back end. Get one. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Aleve, all-day pain relief with just 2 pills. Get back to being you.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
This week on the Weather Channel Mornings, with winter weather in full effect, relentless cold has settled in across most of the nation. When will it let up and how will it affect your travel? And we reveal the top 5 airports with the most weather delays. Is yours on the list? Find out. Wake Up with Al and AMHQ this week on the Weather Channel Mornings.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with mostly cloudy conditions later in the day, high 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, partly cloudy skies in the evening, then becoming cloudy overnight, low 72. Here's our 7-day outlook.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this! Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Been buffed with some pretty good storms, and this is by far the worst.
This was a lot in one shot.
The clouds may not get to us until it starts to melt over the weekend.
It's crazy. The path is 5 feet of trucking through snow.
Then I've been digging out, maybe 6-7 hours.
Welcome back to this special coverage, America's Deep Freeze.
And feet upon feet of snow, lake effect snow piling up. That's what's blanketing several Great Lakes states tonight. The Buffalo area has been especially hard hit with whiteout conditions this afternoon. We've also learned that 2 more people have died, bringing the total death toll to 10 from this heavy snow event.
Meteorologist Mike Seidel filed this report from West Seneca.
We're here in West Seneca, and this is as far as we made it. We were trying to get down to the Bill Stadium in Orchard Park and talk about that story on the Weather Channel, but it just got too dicey. The snow was accumulating too fast on 277. That's the highway we're on here right now, and we just thought it was better to turn around even with a 4-wheel drive vehicle. The plows did come by about 30 minutes ago. Already we have another 2 inches of snow on the road. Here they come, heading back towards the south. Good to see these guys out here. Look how much snow has accumulated in just the past 30 minutes. We're talking a snowfall rate of about 3+ inches an hour. So now we're straight down to the surface. Not a lot of wind out here, but it has been a rough afternoon in this part of Erie County where they've already had 5 to 6 feet, and now they're getting another big dump of snowfall. We're going to head north, continue our trek back towards the Buffalo Airport and out of this band.
So that's what it looks like in West Seneca.
And we want to get an update on what's still to come because, yeah, this blue on the map is showing more snow. Our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, joins us now from the lab to talk more about what folks there do not want to hear, Greg, right now.
I've never seen anything like this, you guys, and I'm sure you haven't either. Pretty remarkable stuff, and that band is taking its time sliding south, but hurry up, go, because, I mean, it doesn't need to snow anymore where they've gotten over 7 feet. This is amazing. Let me show you a picture here. What Mike Bettis tweeted out. He's done shoveling. The snow just stopped where his location is in Hamburg, and he remarked that his work is done. He's never shoveled so much in his life, probably accumulated ever in his life. He's never shoveled so much, and he did it all in about 6 hours. So let's now have a look at the ingredients that came together to produce this epic event. Guys, it was a perfect brew, really, because you had unreal cold air aloft, way colder than average for this time of year, circulating around like that, flowing over very warm waters of the lakes, and the waters were, basically as warm as they were a month ago. So it was that contrast of extremely warm waters near the surface, and at about 5,000 feet, the temperature was about 0 Fahrenheit. So we had essentially lines of thunderstorms producing snow that didn't move. And imagine that. And it's still going on right now just south of Buffalo. But I was telling you, it kind of looks like this line wants to slide south. It's going ever so slowly. But the north edge may indeed beginning to do that, move a little bit toward the south. But now Dunkirk, Concord, and Freedom also now in getting probably 3 to 4 inches per hour snowfall rates. What's kept this thing going alive, obviously the large-scale pattern with that flow has been doing it too, but look at the surface wind flow kind of converging in a way like that. And when air near the ground does that, it is forced upward, and right along this convergence zone, you had the ascent, that uplift right there, and into an atmosphere that was so cold aloft, so unstable, you had those remarkable snowfall totals persist hour after hour. Look at these numbers, 70 plus, but we've seen 85 inches already in Wales Center, New York, and it's, I think, still snowing there. So we're going to come out of this with, I think, places getting over 90 inches. And this is where that snow band is in relation to all those heavy accumulations. So even where they've seen over 70, it's still snowing. Now let's track it out. And I think the model's a little bit too fast moving this to the south based on some of the latest data that I've seen. But the trend as we move through the night would be for everything to move that way because of a northwest wind that's trying to kick in and push everything toward the south. And tomorrow morning, I think we'll still have a few stragglers over here that will produce accumulating snow, but certainly nothing like those long lakeshore parallel bands that kept on moving through from west to east across the region. If you want to count up how much more we think is going to accumulate, these are the numbers. And again, I said I think there's going to be some places that get over 90 inches. That's unbelievable. Guys, back to you.
It really is. Dr. Purcell, thank you so much. You know, in and around Buffalo, the roofs on some buildings have actually collapsed under the weight of all the snow, and other buildings are still at risk.
Joining us now on the phone to talk about the weight of that snow and the damage it can cause, Michael O'Rourke, a structural engineer in Buffalo. Michael, thanks for joining us. First of all, Buffalo's known for getting lots of snow each year, so I'm assuming most homes and businesses are built for it. But how much is too much?
Well, the numbers that I've gotten is the estimates of between 6 and 8 feet of snow, and it's usually for fresh fallen snow, about 10 inches of snow equals 1 inch of water. And if you convert that into a load on the ground, it's something between about 40 and 50 pounds per square foot. And for Buffalo, what the code envisions is about 50 pounds per square foot. So we have, between 75% to 100% of what is envisioned by the code. Now, the code puts a safety factor on things, but we had a somewhat similar experience in Connecticut and in Massachusetts in the winter of 2010-2011. In that winter, in comparison to how much snow was on the ground to what was envisioned by the codes, it was about 70% for Massachusetts, the central part of Massachusetts, and about 80% for Connecticut. And there we had a total of about 350 collapses of particularly buildings that were kind of in a dangerous area. Not an area, but they were dangerous in terms of their age, whether they were maintained properly, whether they were heated or not, whether they had flat roofs or sloped roofs and things like that.
Michael, any signs to look for before it's too late and you actually have a roof coming down on top of you?
Yeah, if things are creaking, that's a bad sign. If things are sagging, if roof members are sagging, that's also a bad sign. And if the friendly advice is, if you have a sloped roof, you can remove the snow by getting a snow rake and stand on the ground and use the snow rake to take the snow off the roof. Don't get on the roof yourself.
All right, Michael, thanks so much. Appreciate that great advice. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, Kelly, what do we have coming?
Well, the temperatures are springing back too, and I know Michael was just talking about that liquid is going to weigh a lot too, so all that snow's got to melt right back to liquid form. So unfortunately, there's going to be that threat for flooding, but also that added weight on the rooftops there in western New York, because even in New York, we're going to be warming things up. Temperatures are springing back. I mean, look at the numbers right now. Not too bad. New Orleans at 63, mid-50s in Atlanta, so we've been slowly but surely at least getting back to average for the mid to latter part of November, and we've got a ridge building through the weekend, so that's really going to allow for a southerly flow. Temperatures are really going to warm up. In fact, we're going above average in many cases, especially along the Gulf Coast. But along with that warm up, we've got the moisture increase too, and that's going to increase our chance for some severe weather. So tomorrow, it's still kind of on the chilly side in Chicago, but then we're a little bit warmer on Saturday, 42, 60 degrees by the Arch in St. Louis. Cincinnati, you're going to be 57 degrees by Sunday, mid-40s in Detroit. And you can see the forecast for Cincinnati where your average high is 52. We're actually going to get above that Sunday into Monday. Friday, so something to look forward to. In the south, we're also warming things up tomorrow. 60s for the most part, but then a lot of areas are going to see 70s over the weekend. We'll be right back.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with mostly cloudy conditions later in the day. High 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, partly cloudy skies in the evening, then becoming cloudy overnight. Low 72. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So I got Dr. Scholl's massaging gel work insoles.
They absorb the shock of working on my feet all day.
I feel energized. I'm a believer.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel work insoles.
I'm a believer!
Introducing York Minis. A bite-sized way to enjoy the full-size sensation of peppermint and rich, dark chocolate. York Minis. Get the sensation.
This is Gordon. Downtown for a sales call. West Side for a presentation. Meeting after meeting after meeting. That's why Gordon stops at Exxon and Mobil for fuels that help his engine run cleaner, smoother, and with better fuel economy. So he can make it to the meeting that matters most. Gordon is energy. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here.
Want to know how hard it can be to breathe with COPD? It can feel like this. COPD includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Spiriva is a once-daily inhaled COPD maintenance treatment that helps open my airways for a full 24 hours. You know, Spiriva helps me breathe easier.
Spiriva HandiHaler tiotropium bromide inhalation powder does not replace rescue inhalers for sudden symptoms. Tell your doctor if you have kidney problems, glaucoma, trouble urinating, or an enlarged prostate. These may worsen with Spiriva. Discuss all medicines you take, even eye drops. Stop taking Spiriva and seek immediate medical help if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes or eye pain, or problems passing urine. Other side effects include dry mouth and constipation.
Nothing can reverse COPD. Spiriva helps me breathe better.
Does breathing with COPD weigh you down? Don't wait to ask your doctor about Spiriva HandiHaler.
I love my Meta Health bars because when nutritious tastes this delicious, I don't miss the other stuff.
New Meta Health bars help promote heart health. Experience the Meta effect with our new multi-health wellness line.
Phil, what happened to you?
Oh, it's Black Friday. It's crazy. Saved hundreds. How'd you make out?
Well, I slept in and saved thousands.
There's a more civilized way to do Black Friday. Why save hundreds when you can get a check for thousands during the Buick Black Friday sales event? Now make your best deal on a Buick sedan in stock the longest and get cash back for 20% of the MSRP. That's nearly $8,000 on this LaCrosse. Hurry, this offer ends December 1st.
Clean up this holiday with the cordless Dyson DC59 vacuum. Expert service, unbeatable price, Best Buy.
Apples are good. As Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow motion horse, the bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
It's just not the holidays until the lights come on. So stop by your neighborhood Ace for select lights on sale for $5.99 and $17.99. Make Ace your holiday connection.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Fatherhood. Lesson number 1.
Deep sea delight.
Pregnant wives have late night cravings.
The ice cream, please.
Lesson number 2.
Thank you.
Make sure you get her ice cream in a cup. with a lid.
That's why you want accident forgiveness from Allstate. It keeps your rates from going up just because of an accident. Plus, when you switch today, you could save up to 10% more on your auto policy.
Just a few more ways the good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call 866-532-0707 now.
Welcome back, everyone. Holiday travel, it can be a nightmare, but we can help kick it off right. We want to show you something exciting that we now have available for you if you ever need to know anything about travel delays, because our team at weather.com has a new report on the worst airports for weather delays. Our own Reynolds Wolf helps break it all down.
You're on your way to that tropical beach retreat or a trip to see relatives for the holidays. All is going as planned until you see this.
Our flight was canceled.
Notified on the way to the airport.
We have 690 canceled flights.
That's really bad.
Few things can put people on edge quicker than a canceled or delayed flight due to weather. From August 2013 to July 2014, there were roughly more than 1 million delayed, canceled, or diverted flights over a 12-month period. Weather-related delays in this time added up to more than 23 million minutes. That's the equivalent of just over 44 years. And there are some airports that are notorious for battling nature to stay on time. These are the top 5 worst weather-delayed airports in the country. Coming in at number 5, Newark Liberty International Airport in Newark, New Jersey. Snowstorms and the occasional summer thunderstorm can cause problems at this airport, but wind can also cause headaches. 2 of Newark's 3 runways sit southwest to northeast. Since west to northwest crosswinds are common, this can be a frequent dilemma, even on sunny days. We head to the Mile High City for number 4. Denver International Airport is right in the heart of snow country. But it's not just snow alone that puts this airport in the top 5. Denver's also familiar with severe weather. In fact, no area of the country saw more tornado warnings in the year we studied, and several of those warnings affected the airport. What do you think would be the worst weather in terms of airports?
Snow. Rain.
Rain's another one.
Wind.
All of the above for New York's LaGuardia Airport. Snow, low clouds, fog, wind, thunderstorms, all the weather that adds up to hours passengers spend to cool their heels at the gate. More than half of all arriving flight delays during the time period we studied were due to weather. Number 2 on the list is the second busiest airport in the country, O'Hare International Airport. A variety of nasty weather can cause significant delays any time of the year in the Windy City. Chicago sees about 28 days of snow per year on average, and O'Hare tops all major northeastern airports with about 38 stormy days a year. And we can't forget about the wind. South or southwest winds can lead to delays. You tell me if you're surprised when I tell you this. Number 1 airport in terms of weather-related delays, San Francisco.
Yeah, that's very surprising.
That's right. San Francisco International Airport tops the list.
Is that number 1?
Number one.
So why is that? Is that weather?
It's gotta be weather. It's all about weather. It's all about fog, low clouds, poor visibility. Again.
It's not about when the 49ers lose?
I'm from Chicago. You either roll with it, or at some point you go home.
It's all about attitude, isn't it?
It's all about attitude.
There you go.
Okay, San Francisco, number 1 on that list, but why? Let's take a look at the fog and dig a little deeper into why it causes such delays. It starts with the cold water. The Pacific water offshore from San Francisco, it's cold year-round, no warmer than the upper 50s. And that cold water and moist air above is a perfect recipe to create clouds and fog, what is commonly known as the marine layer. The initial fog forms west of the Golden Gate where the water is colder. You see the bridge there. But you don't have to go too far inland before you find warmer water and warmer air. And that warmer air over the East Bay rises. A pressure gradient sets up. Low pressure in the East Bay, higher pressure over the colder water. The air flows or advects from high pressure to low pressure toward the East Bay, drawing the fog right through the Golden Gate and right over the airport. And that's why the visibility here can go from several miles to a fraction of a mile in a short amount of time and delay your flight. Kelly?
All right, cool explainer there, Nick. Thanks so much. Buffalo, you were hit hard this week by lake effect snow and freezing temperatures, and that biting wind ends up with a messy winter wonderland of sorts. Now you're probably wondering when you'll get back to a sense of normalcy. Well, a bit of good news for you coming up next in your winter weather update. Hang in there.
Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
I got everything I wanted. I always do.
You seem nice.
Now?
This year, Walmart's Black Friday is 10 days of savings.
Now?
Oh, hold on. The savings will be bigger and better than ever before. Okay, go ahead.
Black Friday is back and it's going to be huge. Get ready to win it at Walmart.com.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
Sunday nights.
When the wind blows.
The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with mostly cloudy conditions later in the day. High 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, partly cloudy skies in the evening, then becoming cloudy overnight. Low 72. Here's our 7-day outlook.
These lights alert you to potential trouble. So do these. See farther, wider, better. Upgrade to Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
Toenail fungus? Don't hide it, fight it with new FDA-approved Jublia. Jublia, efinaconazole 10% topical solution, is a prescription medicine proven to treat fungal infections of the toenails. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor. Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Fight it! Ask your doctor now if new Jublia is right for you.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Black Friday deals are here early, which means it's time to start saving on tools and gifts at Lowe's. Hurry in now for $100 off this Cobalt Mechanics tool set and $150 off this DeWalt NiCad combo kit. Don't miss out on the year's best deals at Lowe's.
FAU's Lifelong Learning Society in Jupiter is a great place to learn something new. It offers affordable university-level courses for adults of all ages with no homework, no tests, and no stress. There are one-day lectures or 4-, 6-, and 8-week courses. Course and lecture topics are taught all year round and include a variety of liberal arts subjects. Take only the courses you want, then sit back, relax, and enjoy. Visit us online to learn more and start your tomorrow today.
house, they would take better care of her. Always.
Protect what matters. Get flood insurance.
If you miss this Sunday night on the Weather Channel, you'll never know how twisted weather can be. Wicked Weather Sundays, every Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back, everyone. You're just in time for our winter weather update. I'm here in the lab with our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, and we feel for you here in western New York State. I mean, feet upon feet of snow, and yeah, just adding insult to injury here.
Yeah,
More
it looks
snow.
like the band, and the good news for Buffalo and for Hamburg and places nearby, the lake effect band is beginning to shift a little bit farther to the south. So the areas that have been hardest hit, I think we're going to see things get better over the next couple of hours. So just hang on as long as you can. But Kelly, I cannot imagine opening your door, not being able to go out because the snow is up here.
I heard you earlier about being claustrophobic. I am too. That would really just get me crazy. And people having to go out the window to get out of their homes. And I saw one picture, though, that was kind of making light of it. You know, hanging the Christmas decorations got easier, being able to stand up on the snow piles to be able to reach the rafters up there. But still, this is a serious situation.
Yeah, it's a mess. And it's 70 inches. I mean, I'm telling you, there was a New Wales had 85 inches, and that was, I think, a couple of hours ago. They are to the east of Hamburg, somewhere over here, and we're talking about places that may push 90 inches, which is unheard of. I've never seen anything like this. And as I said, the band, though, right now is axis of heavy snow now is down here. So where they got it the worst up here, everything is now beginning to shift a little south. So that's some good news.
That is good news. The other piece of good news is that even though we are expecting more snow, we do have a warm-up on the way.
We do. And we'll get to that. And this is how much snow we expect across the region. So still in that band, it's going to be 3 to 5 inches of accumulation per hour in that band. It is a nasty snow band, shore parallel band that is still unloading a lot between Erie and Buffalo. So take caution if you're traveling along or in that area. But you mentioned the warm-up, and this is what people have been waiting for.
I mean, there's good news and bad news for folks. I mean, we want to melt some of that snow, but the bad news is it's going to melt back to liquid form and be a flood for us, perhaps. But
Kelly, when was the last time you saw the jet stream look like that?
Yeah, it's been a little while.
We've had the jet stream out of Canada forever.
Yeah.
But on Sunday, it's coming back, bringing a lot of warm air. It will be 70 here in Atlanta. So good news there if you don't like the cold. But if you look a little farther down the road, there is some more cold air coming. So let's analyze. Let's figure out, is that going to play a role in our Thanksgiving plans?
Oh, I know a lot of people have travel plans, Greg, so let's hope the miles agree.
Thanksgiving Day, spaghetti plot of the jet stream. You know how we do the spaghetti plots with the hurricane tracks? Right. It's kind of like it with the jet stream. Each one of those lines is a different model forecast of what the jet stream is going to look like on Thanksgiving. So the European model is one of those. It's the green one, actually, that does that. So you get the sense that, say, late next week, Thanksgiving, cold air is coming into the middle part of the country.
Right.
But there's another model that kind of says, not so fast, a reliable model, the USGFS model, this one right here, which has this blue line. Gosh, it's kind of going against the consensus. It's got the trough farther to the east and the colder air in the south and east.
Interesting.
So it's kind of, messing up the scenario. So you got to kind of take every bit and weigh it appropriately and look at what's really going on. And here's why there's such a discrepancy in all the models. I think it has something to do with the fact there's an upper level low here, I would say late next week. The models that have that cold air in the middle and the ridge in the west, cut this thing off, bring a lot of warm air up that way, and in response bring cold air that way. The GFS, which does things a little bit differently, pulls that thing in closer and has a flatter flow and pushes the trough into the east. That's why those models are doing what they're doing. The question is, which one do we believe?
So typically we take like an average, right, of the models, but
there's one way to do it. There's ways to weight it statistically, and when you come out with all that fancy smancy mathematics, this is our forecast for Thanksgiving Day. Look at some of these numbers, but I'll tell you what, if I were a betting man, and I am, that I would say the risk is to go a little colder in the east.
All right, be prepared for that, especially for that Thanksgiving parade going on there. All right, thank you so much, Greg. Nick, back to you.
It has been a week, to say the least. From pileups to airport delays to finding the good in all that lake effect snow to just looking in amazement on what they're dealing with in western New York. Up next, our special coverage of America's deep freeze continues. Right now, your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with mostly cloudy conditions later in the day. High 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, partly cloudy skies in the evening, then becoming cloudy overnight. Low 72. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The images and video coming out of upstate New York right now are stunning. Entire neighborhoods are essentially sealed off, buried under up to 5 feet of snow. And as the snow piles up, though, so does the death toll. 10 people now confirmed as victims of the storm. From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you're watching a special report, America's Deep Freeze. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Kelly Cass.
And I'm Nick Walker. You know, impressive doesn't really begin to describe the amount of snow we've seen. These numbers are simply epic. Take a look at some of these totals. I mean, we're looking at Lancaster with 75 inches of snowfall, Orchard Park almost 60, and Hamburg with 79.5 inches of snow. Michael Jordan is 6'6". This would bury him.
Yeah.
This would bury him. Now, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his head might stick out, but you know, just amazing totals.
It really is. You know, earlier today on AMHQ, we spoke to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo about this extreme snow event.
You have to be prepared to handle the damage. There's not a lot that you can prevent in these situations, but we have the utility companies are here, the special rescue teams are here, and we're doing everything we can.
An additional 2 to 3 feet of snow is not what Buffalo needs, but that's what round 2 is delivering tonight. We've also seen reports of the elusive thunder snow. Residents are snowed in their homes in some neighborhoods with snow drifts higher than their doors. Let's head out to the lab now for expert analysis and our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel. And Dr. Postel, I can't even imagine snow way over my head.
No, I mean, I've seen pictures where that snow is like near the rooftops and you look out from your second floor window and all you can see is pretty much snow everywhere and some roofs. That is nuts because, I mean, you could get buried in all this snow. Imagine that. Oh, my gosh. It'd be claustrophobic, Kelly. You know, I talked about that. Let alone all the other hazards that come with that, with the weight on the roof and the potential for structural failure. This is a disaster. And the good thing is it's just about over in the worst areas, the hardest hit areas. So hopefully things will improve very quickly. Let's have a look at now the ingredients that came together to really create this perfect storm of lake effect nastiness. And what we've had is an exceptionally cold Arctic air mass. We all know about that. Move in through the Great Lakes, where the water temperature in the Great Lakes was still really warm. I mean, it's still early in the season, but we had there's such a contrast between the air temperature aloft and the Great Lakes temperature that we had a lot of thunder snow and extremely vigorous what's called convection that released snowfall rates at 3 to 5 inches per hour plus, and in bands that didn't move. You can see how it adds up so quickly. Look at this band right here, right now, beginning to slowly work its way south, I think, out of the hardest hit areas, which are up in here. So that's good news, but of course it's unloading the heavy snow farther to the south. What's kept it going so effectively, though, is the low-level wind flow has been actually running at each other from different directions, and right along that convergence zone the air was forced upward and into that very cold air aloft, leading to those essentially bands of thunderstorm snows, and it just kept on going hour after hour, guys. And these are the snowfall totals as you saw those earlier, but as I mentioned, Wales Center 85 inches, and that was a little while ago, so there'll be, I think, 90-inch totals. That's over, let's see, by my calculations, 7 feet. Oh my goodness gracious. And this is where the heaviest band is right now. So it is now beginning to move out of the hardest hit areas, but It's kind of taking its time. I think these models are a little behind. You can see as I run this from this evening over the next, say, 12 to 18 hours, the bands, the lake parallel, shore parallel bands, the ones that are really bad, they begin to move south, and then we're left with, I think, tomorrow early morning, some straggler snow bands. Still pretty, producing a few inches of snow here and there, but nothing like those long, nasty bands that we saw the last couple days. So when you add it all up, here's what's coming on top of what you already have. This is how much to go, and much warmer air is coming in, which could pose its own problems with some flooding too. Guys, back to you, Nick.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Postel. Now, we continue our live team coverage now as we track America's deep freeze. Let's go to Cheektowaga, New York, and NBC's Lester Holt. Good evening, Lester. We've got over 75 inches of snow that has fallen in your area. I see it piled up behind you there.
It is amazing, Nick. You look around, you think, how can this be in such a short amount of time? As you had mentioned at the top of the broadcast, 10 deaths so far associated with the storm. We're told half of those are cardiac-related deaths, and it's a warning about this stuff is heavy. It's difficult to move for even the fittest of people out here, so be very, very careful is the warning that authorities are putting out to folks. Now, this is one of many houses along a cul-de-sac that people couldn't get in or out. The doors were covered up, literally prisoners in their own home. I was by here earlier today, and the homeowner here was shouting back and forth. I asked, are you okay? And they said, we're fine, but would like to get out. Fortunately, a few hours later, they were able to hire someone with a little tractor to get them out. But that's been the story of a lot of folks. I was in a chopper earlier today over the south part of Buffalo, where neighborhoods are completely impassable. At least here we have somewhat of a plowed road, but there were neighborhoods we saw that people simply can't get in and out. They were up on top of roofs. The big concern here is getting that snow off the roofs because of the fear as moisture is introduced, it'll get heavier. We'll see roof collapses. Not far from here today, there was a nursing home that suffered some bowing of a roof. They became concerned. They called authorities, and there was an evacuation of about 150 seniors from there. That's a big concern, especially as this begins to warm up later on and starts to melt, concerned about roof collapses. And then, of course, flooding. People here still under travel restrictions in many areas, so even when they can get out of their homes, they really can't get very far. Some are walking miles to get food from the stores that are open. So still some very difficult conditions here, Nick.
And a story that will be ongoing for many days to come. Thank you very much, Lester. Appreciate the update. All right, as Lester mentioned, we are going to see a warm up and a little cool down initially and then warming back up, and flooding could be an issue up toward the northeast. Look at Washington, D.C. at 46 degrees. That's warmer now than your high temperature yesterday. You actually hit the mid-50s today. You are still in the 40s in many areas here from the mid-Atlantic northward. New York, Philadelphia, 41, 42 degrees. Warmer than yesterday, but we're going to cool down again and then warm up big time as we head into the weekend. It's all because the jet stream taking a trip northward, and this warm air is going to surge northward, and we're going to see by the weekend's end temperatures that are well above what would be average for this time of year. And here's what we're talking about. Highs above average from Boston, New York, Washington, D.C., back toward Pittsburgh and Roanoke. Tomorrow, cooling back down below average, 16 degrees below average in New York City. Then slightly milder as we head into Saturday, but then Sunday, that's when we see the temperatures return to what would be considered average for this time of year in most areas. And warming up well above the freezing mark, even around Buffalo, nearly 60 degrees. We'll be above that in New York, above 70 in Washington, D.C. We'll continue to track the lake effect snow. Stay with us.
Let's get a head start on the holidays. Let's open something before Christmas. Not that. Those. And of course, a whole lot of these. Let's make merry, along with a few other things. Deck out that. Save all these and spread more of this. That's how to holiday. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Get 100 count clear or multicolor incandescent lights for just $1.88.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training and over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
This week on the Weather Channel mornings, with winter weather in full effect, relentless cold has settled in across most of the nation. When will it let up, and how will it affect your travel? And we reveal the top 5 airports with the most weather delays. Is yours on the list? Find out. Wake Up with Al and AMHQ this week on the Weather Channel mornings.
Tonight, cloudy skies, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with overcast skies later in the day, high 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, cloudy skies, low 72. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this.
Listen to that! Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin. Blah, blah, insurance. Person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. 6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you get to a better state.
So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. So groß, ach verdammt. I said it 3 times and it's still not true.
Performance is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200. America's import.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse, the bestest.
You have severe weather to talk about, unfortunately, as you try to make those plans for the weekend. And as always, we go to the man with the plan where we talk severe weather. Our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, is in the lab to make sure you are ready for what's coming your way. And Greg, it's been a little while.
Yeah, it really has, but we did last Sunday and Monday have at least 10 confirmed tornadoes, and that's why we call November sometimes second season, because big dips in the jet stream that make it cold in the north can still tap that Gulf of Mexico moisture. We'll have one this weekend, probably beginning Friday. Even today, the temperatures got into the 70s in Texas. What a contrast, huh, with Buffalo, New York. But I think it's probably going to be overnight Friday night in western Texas before the severe threat sets in. A very low chance in central Texas during the daytime hours. Why wait till overnight? Well, this is 11 p.m. Friday night in the cold pocket aloft. It's in this U-shaped dip in the jet stream. The winds follow along parallel to these white lines. It's still way to the west, so it's going to be the overnight hours before the leading edge of that, where the lifting takes place, gets into western and central parts of Texas. So this is actually 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon, so the action probably then will have shifted to central Texas and then later on in the evening into eastern Texas. And look at that disturbance go. It rolls off to the north and east, begins to head north and east into the Tennessee Valley and Ohio valleys, runs away from a lot of the unstable air. But from Saturday through Sunday, we could have that convergence of ingredients. The ingredients coming together there, parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida Panhandle for some tornadoes. Then some of that disturbance goes up to the Buffalo area, warms things up, may give some rain. We certainly don't need that on top of all that snowmelt. Saturday, severe in the morning, isolated out here, gets more frequent in the afternoon from San Antonio over to Houston and Corpus Christi, southern parts of Louisiana. On the Torcon Tornado Condition Index scale of 0 to 10, I've given a 4 there, southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana. Less unstable air, a little bit favorable wind conditions, though, with a surface low up there. A 3 up near the Dallas-Fort Worth area in north central Texas. There is that surface low. all that southeast wind vectors on there showing the moisture continuing to come in off the Gulf of Mexico, including working its way farther east in the Gulf Coast states. And then that low scoots up into the Mississippi Valley. We get into Sunday, we'll have a lot of moist air, Mississippi over into southern Georgia, northern Florida to work with. Then that low keeps going. There might even be some strong winds with that without thunderstorms. And look, then Monday evening, the cold front will have gone back through Buffalo, but between now and then, a warm up and some rain. Saturday night, severe thunderstorms from eastern Texas over to Louisiana, western parts of the Florida Panhandle. Torcons of 4 in the southern parts of that area. Then into Sunday, in the morning, there could still be some ongoing Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana. Afternoon, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and maybe eastern parts of the Carolinas. And for Sunday, again, I've given a Torcon of 4, southern parts of Mississippi, southern parts of Alabama, southern Georgia, northern and northwest parts of Florida. And it's not just the numbers. With these combination of ingredients, there could be a strong tornado in the mix of this. So you're going to want to be careful this weekend and stay tuned to the Weather Channel. Let's go back north and talk about whether we can play football or not in Buffalo. Let's go to Nick for that.
Boy, they're trying to figure out, Dr. Forbes. This Sunday's NFL game between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills will not be played in Buffalo, though. An NFL spokesperson made the announcement late this afternoon, saying public safety resources that would normally be used for the game must be available for the community instead. He says the game will be played somewhere at some time this weekend, or maybe Monday, but the league and the teams are still trying to figure out the details. NBC Sports is reporting that Detroit and the Jets' home in New Jersey are being considered as alternate locations. By the way, the National Hockey League has canceled tomorrow night's game between the Rangers and the Sabres. That was supposed to take place in Buffalo.
And you can understand why,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
All that feet of snow. Nick, thank you so much. I don't know if you like traveling during Thanksgiving week. I'm not one to do that, but I know a lot of you will be traveling or maybe just dropping someone off or picking someone up. Wintry weather can put a damper on those plans, but we're going to take you behind the scenes to show you how the airports deal with de-icing.
At Panera Bread, we're celebrating the season with our chicken tortellini Alfredo, made with 5 cheeses and topped with smoked chicken. Add a crisp classic Caesar salad for a pairing that brings comfort and joy to your dinner table. Only at Panera Bread.
Warm up with Panera Bread's Southwestern Chicken Flatbread with all-natural turkey chili.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Angle Tires.
From restoring damage in just one room to an entire building, turn to the cleanup team that's here in your community and here to help at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
My family, we're close. Sometimes too close, which means we're always getting into each other's hair. That's why we use Head & Shoulders. Keeps us 100% flake-free and smells gorgeous. I use it. My whole world uses it. Head & Shoulders now smells better than ever.
If you have high blood pressure like I do, many cold medicines may raise your blood pressure. That's why there's Coricidin HBP. It relieves cold symptoms without raising blood pressure. So look for powerful cold medicine with the heart. Coricidin HBP.
At CVS Health, we took a deep breath and made the decision to quit selling cigarettes in our CVS pharmacies. Now we invite smokers to quit too with our comprehensive program. We just want to help everyone, everywhere, breathe a little easier. Introducing CVS Health, because health is everything.
Wolves. Intense. Relentless. The tireless hunters of the wild. And the wild ancestors of your dog. Wolves and dogs share many traits, like a primitive desire for meat. So in the spirit of the wild comes Blue Wilderness, a meat-rich, grain-free food that's made with more of the chicken, duck, or salmon they love. Feed your dog's wolf spirit with Blue Wilderness, because he's wild inside.
This week on the Weather Channel mornings, with winter weather in full effect, relentless cold has settled in across most of the nation. When will it let up and how will it affect your travel? And we reveal the top 5 airports with the most weather delays. Is yours on the list? Find out. Wake up with Alan.
Phil, what happened to you? Oh, it's Black Friday. It's crazy. Saved hundreds. How'd you make out?
Well, I slept in and saved thousands.
There's a more civilized way to do Black Friday. Why save hundreds when you can get a check for thousands during the Buick Black Friday sales event? Now make your best deal on a Buick sedan in stock the longest and get cash back for 20% of the MSRP. That's nearly $8,000 on this LaCrosse. Hurry, this offer ends December 1st.
A ballpark flame grilled patty with the guys. Can it get any more American? Boom. Made with 100% beef, bold, juicy, ready in about a minute. Flame grilled freedom.
Eczema can just really put a damper on a lot of things. Constant itching and scratching. I'm not myself.
Gold Bond Eczema Relief Cream. Used daily, it's proven to relieve 5 frustrating symptoms of eczema.
Gold Bond Eczema Relief really works.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this! Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Tonight, cloudy skies, slight chance. Friday, rain showers early with overcast skies later in the day. High 76. Chance of rain 40%. Friday night, cloudy skies, low 72. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I don't know what the extent is, how bad it is. I don't even know if she's going to drive yet, but this is what I've made in 4 hours. This is my dent. I've been plowed back in once.
Digging out just to do it all over again for many. It's been so frustrating. It's been an exhausting week. The bad news, it's not over yet. And with the snow continuing to pile up, we're getting totals that are just unbelievable. 70 inches plus here south of Buffalo. And Kelly, some of these places have actually received as much as 85 inches of snowfall.
Wow.
Over 7 feet of snow. And see where it's snowing right now?
Yeah, right over Hamburg.
Same places.
Luckily, that band is going a little bit more toward the south now. Well, if you've ever spent any time at the airport during the winter months, you may have noticed the ground crews working to de-ice airplanes.
In today's Brainstorm, we explore the science behind ice and airplanes.
When ice forms on the body of an airplane, it can be trouble. Even a layer as thin as a grain of salt can affect a plane's aerodynamics. The upward force that maintains altitude, called lift, can be reduced by 30%. That effectively has the same impact as adding the weight of 2 school buses. To counter this, airlines de-ice their planes with a glycol solution that has a freezing point more than 80 degrees lower than water. And it's not just in the air. If there's ice on the ground during landing, the coefficient of friction, or stickiness, between the landing gear and the runway can drop by 60%, requiring more distance to land. Even just a half an inch of slush can increase the landing distance by a length equivalent to about 7 city blocks. For a major airport like O'Hare or JFK to get back up to normal operating speed, as many as 8 runways and 25 plus miles of taxiways must be cleared. For just a foot of snowfall, that can add up to 30 million cubic feet of snow, or about the weight of an average-sized cruise ship. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
All right, very interesting. And de-icing currently going on at some of those northern airports, Cleveland, Buffalo, Detroit as well. We're going to take you for a trip, though, because, you know, Thanksgiving's a week from today. So a lot of you are going to try to get a jump start on those plans and maybe hit the road on Saturday. Well, be careful. We've got some rain coming our way into the Great Lakes. Look at the temperatures in the low 40s in Chicago, and even thunderstorms down toward the Gulf Coast. Even Dallas is that chance we could see severe weather. Thankfully, the busiest airport, Atlanta, should be okay. Charlotte, even the New York hubs look fine, and the West Coast looking a bit active as well. So here's a look at what we're expecting as far as Saturday's airports. Dallas, major delays because of the thunderstorms. Detroit, de-icing can sometimes slow things down as well. Moderate delays for Chicago and even San Francisco. A few delays are possible as well. Today they had delays because of rain and low ceilings. Here's a look at the second half of the weekend. We've got the snow with that system in the west. There's green, though. Look at all the way up towards Marquette, Michigan. Green means rain, so definitely warmer air coming into the picture for the Sunday before Thanksgiving, but the rain is also a bad thing if we're trying to fly, especially at some of these airports. Look at Chicago, major delays expected for O'Hare, and you know that has a ripple effect to other airports around the country. Atlanta, major delays. Some delays possible for DC, but thankfully for Denver, just a little windy out there, so maybe a little bit of a bumpy ride. And in fact, Denver, you got snow in your forecast for Thanksgiving Day, and we see that stripe of snow all the way into the Ohio Valley. Well, don't forget, if you have travel plans coming up, you can always get the latest on airport delays and cancellations on weather.com/delayed airports. Nick?
And there's no rest for the weary. We're talking about making a bad situation worse. What could be another round of crippling lake effect snow? Our special coverage continues next as we head back to the lab for expert analysis on America's deep freeze from Dr. Greg Postel. Stay tuned. It's all ahead after your local on the 8.
When your house loses power, it can be tough for your family. But not if your family has a Kohler generator. Restores power automatically in as little as 10 seconds and is backed by a 5-year limited warranty. Kohler generators. Keep your family flowing.
When the power goes out, you'll go on. Contact your Kohler Generators dealer today.
Phil, what happened to you? Oh, it's Black Friday. It's crazy. Saved hundreds. How'd you make out? Well, I slept in and saved thousands.
There's a more civilized way to do Black Friday. Why save hundreds when you can get a check for thousands during the Buick Black Friday sales event? Now make your best deal on a Buick sedan in stock the longest and get cash back for 20% of the MSRP. That's nearly $8,000 on this LaCrosse. Hurry, this offer ends December 1st.
You get used to the pet odors in your couch. You think it smells fine, but your guests smell this. Eliminate odors you've gone nose blind to with Febreze Fabric Refresher.
Smells good.
So you and your guests can breathe happy.
At the end of the day, my hands are beat up.
Especially during the winter times, hands are splitting, cracking, making it very difficult to do my job.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
Best stuff we've ever used.
It just works.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
Hey, Tony. Dad, go wide. Set. Height.
Nice catch. Who's ready for halftime?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna draw something out new. Wide receiver goes deep all the way to the corner. Wait a minute. Wait, the quarterback.
Share what you love with who you love. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
They're great.
Maybe you didn't know, people with the flu can spread it up to 6 feet away. Or that flu can make chronic conditions worse. Maybe you didn't know any of the stuff your Rite Aid pharmacist knows. But now that you've gotten your flu shot at Rite Aid, maybe you don't need to.
At Pep Boys, we've got big holiday deals going on right now. Like a Touring 2-ton jack for only $10, or an electric razor scooter for just $99. And when you buy 3 select tires, you get the 4th free instantly. Trust the boys to get you there.
Dad, I know I haven't said this often enough, but thank you.
Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. If you're a current or former military member or their family, get an auto insurance quote.
and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
This week on the Weather Channel Mornings, with winter weather in full effect, relentless cold has settled in across most of the nation. When will it let up, and how will it affect your travel? And we reveal the top 5 airports with the most weather delays. Is yours on the list? Find out. Wake Up with Al and AMHQ this week on the Weather Channel Mornings.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, cloudy skies, slight chance of a rain shower, low 68. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, rain showers early with overcast skies later in the day. High 76. Chance of rain 40%.